There is one question that instantly shows whether you have a group or an illusion of a group. One question. 4 words. 90% of people who call themselves prepared cannot answer it. They have the supplies. They have the skills. Some of them have 10 people who agreed to work together. But when this question lands, silence. That silence tells you everything about what happens on week 3. The question is this: who handles water? Not who has water, not where the water is. Who handles it? One name. A person who wakes up every morning knowing that 8 people drink today because of a task that belongs to them, not to everyone, not to whoever is around, not to the group in general. One person with a clipboard and the authority to say no when someone wants an extra liter at 11 at night. If that name does not exist, the water still gets consumed, unevenly, without tracking, and without anyone noticing that consumption on day 4 already exceeded what the plan assumed for day 7. The most common answer to this question is the most dangerous one. We all handle it. It sounds cooperative. It sounds fair. And it is the answer that kills more community survival efforts than any external threat. Because when everyone is responsible, no one is accountable. No one checks the filter schedule. No one counts the jugs at 6 a.m. and compares the number to yesterday. No one notices the second rain barrel has a hairline crack, losing a quarter liter per day. These are not dramatic failures. They are invisible ones, the kind that compound silently until day 11, when someone turns the spigot and nothing comes out, and 8 people look at each other trying to remember whose job it was to notice. In Sarajevo during the siege, apartment blocks that survived the first winter had one thing in common: a water person. Not a committee, not a rotation where Tuesday was your turn and Thursday was mine. One resident whose name was on the wall next to the word water, who understood that the role meant 5 specific things every day. Check supply, log consumption, inspect collection points, report to the block leader, ration if the numbers do not hold. The blocks without that name ran dry 3 to 4 times faster. Same population, same infrastructure, same siege, different organizational decision. This is the anatomy of one role. First, designation, not volunteering, not asking who wants to do it. Designation means a leader looks at the group, evaluates capability and reliability, and assigns. The person who gets the water role is not the one who raised a hand. It is the one who counts things without being asked. The one whose pantry at home was organized before the crisis. Skill for the role, not enthusiasm. Second, daily duties, written, posted, non-negotiable. Check supply volume at 6 a.m. Log the number. Compare to yesterday. Inspect all collection and filtration points. Report to the leader before the morning meeting. If the numbers show consumption ahead of plan, propose a rationing adjustment. Not implement it unilaterally. Propose it, because rationing is a governance decision that affects everyone and belongs at the table. Third, accountability. The water person answers to the group through the leader. Once a week at the group meeting, the numbers go on the whiteboard. Leaders in, leaders out. Projected days remaining at current rate. This is not surveillance. This is the mechanism that keeps a role from becoming a power position. Transparency is the difference between responsibility and control. Fourth, verification. Someone other than the water person checks the count once a week. Not because we distrust them, because a system that depends on one unchecked individual is not a system. It is a hope, and hope does not scale past week 2. Here is what changes the moment a name goes on that roll. The water does not increase. The filters do not improve. What changes is that 8 people stop thinking about water. They stop worrying whether someone counted. They stop arguing about whether the neighbor's kids drank more than their share. One person carries the cognitive load of water, and 7 people carry other things. That is not efficiency, that is architecture. And here we reach the part that this video was always about. The question was never about water. Water is the example, the first brick. The real question is whether any function in your group has a name next to it. Food, security, medical, communication, sanitation. If the answer to all of them is the same, we all handle it, then what you have is not a circle. It is a crowd with good intentions standing near supplies. And good intentions do not survive the moment the spigot runs dry, and nobody can explain why. We gave one role a name today. One function, one person, one set of duties written and posted. Tomorrow the structure meets its first real test, because roles work until someone decides theirs is unfair. And the 3 words that follow weigh more than any threat outside the walls. One person holds. A circle that names its roles endures.